American society seems to be fraying at the edges, but filmmaker Michael Moore believes he's part of the solution. He is the hero who can help save it. Watch him describe his role earlier this year.
We must also cleanse our American soul of its white male privilege, its voracious greed, and its enforced ignorance that has made a population of semi-literate and unaware people.
Michael Moore, the soul cleanser. One of the things rotting our soul, he just said, is greed. And yet many people close to Moore, people who would know, say that he himself is Exhibit A for that problem. For example, his film festival has just been sued for allegedly failing to pay vendors, the little people, and instead smearing them in the press. Meanwhile, Moore's ex-wife says that he stiffed her on the profits from the films she helped produce. Those would include Bowling for Columbine and Fahrenheit 9/11. Greg Gutfeld has long made a passion of studying the career of Michael Moore. He also, of course, hosts The Five on Fox as well as the Greg Gutfeld Show, and he joins us tonight. So I'm a little confused by this, Greg. Michael Moore, one thing we know about him is he's a champion of the people. So why isn't he championing individual people and instead scamming them, they say?
Well, that's where you're wrong. He's a man of the people unless those people are working for him. Yes. Then he will shaft them to pay for his pies because he loves his pies. You know, it's the truth of the activists, Tucker. They think globally, but they're jerks locally. The act of caring actually excuses their own obnoxious, self-involved, arrogant behavior. If you ever were in college, you know this. If you had a roommate that was an activist, they would go to the peace marches, but they would never pay their rent on time. They'd never spring for the toilet paper, and they always ate your food, Tucker. I'm also worried because Michael Moore is looking more.
So true.
It's true, but Michael Moore is looking more and more like Large Marge from Pee-wee's Playhouse, the movie Pee-wee's Great Adventure. Do you remember Large Marge, the truck driver?
I missed that. Maybe I saw the sequel. Maybe.
And by the way, he believes that the world's coming to an end. Why is it that people who think they're so brilliant and they think that the world is coming to an end, they never bathe or wear fresh underwear?
Well, maybe that's why, because it's not worth it. But wait, I'm still sort of confused by this. So if you really cared about the world and making it better, wouldn't you begin with the people around you?
They're unimportant, Tucker. They're unimportant because you have a greater mission in life, and that is to save the world. Therefore, you could be mean to your wife. You could ignore your kids. You could cheat. You could be terrible. And by the way, Tucker, you're not so perfect yourself. Do you know what yesterday was, Tucker? Do you know what yesterday? Man of the people, Tucker. Populist, Tucker. It was my birthday. Did I hear from Tucker Carlson?
Yes, you did. I texted you. And I said, happy 38th birthday. Yes, I did.
I waited. I was playing our song.
You lost
wore your favorite
You lost
shirt.
your phone in a bar, and you know it.
Anyway.
So I'm going to ask you this, because you're the perfect person to ask. Sure. Very shortly in the show, we're going to speak to Stormy Daniels' attorney in just a few minutes. If you were sitting in this chair, what would you ask him?
I would, he's a porn expert. So I would ask him, how do you permanently erase your browser history? Because I'm always interested in that. That's a question. A lot of my friends ask me that question. No, here's what I'm complaining. I got nothing against porn, but this is a highly immoral activity that Stormy Daniels is participating in. It's not adult films. It's that she reneged on a deal. She is a paid sex worker. She gets paid for sex. Isn't that what this is? What is she mad about? I don't understand. What did Trump do?
That's a real question. What is and it's a sincere question, by the way. I feel sorry for Stormy Daniels. I think she's being exploited by the people around her.
Absolutely.
But I don't understand what the injury to her was. And I'm not being mean. Do you know what it was?
It was a deal that they made, and I think maybe she's mad that she could have gotten more money out of it than she did because he became president. Maybe that's why she's upset. The other sad thing about porn is that no one ever retires. They always try to, the whole thing is they try to get out of porn. Everything's about getting. It can't be a good vocation if the first goal is to get out of it.
It's true. Whereas no one ever wants to get out of television.
No, that's true. We're dying. Well, you'll have to carry me out of here on a stretcher.
You only get fired. That's the only way out.
Exactly.
Greg Gutfeld, great to see you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And thanks for the gift.